Have you ever caught yourself snapping at someone and then instantly regretting it? Maybe it was a small comment, a traffic jam, or that one person who always knows how to push your buttons. Here's the truth. Most people aren't living. They're just reacting. Every day they hand over their peace of mind to whoever or whatever triggers them. That's not emotional freedom. That's emotional slavery. But what if I told you that staying calm in chaos isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending not to care? It's about mastering your emotions so deeply that nothing and no one can shake your inner peace. Imagine walking through life with emotional control so strong that even your old triggers start losing their power. Sounds like magic? It's not. It's self-mastery, and anyone can learn it. In this video, we're diving into how to stop reacting and start living, how to develop emotional intelligence, mental clarity, and emotional resilience so solid that life's storms feel like a summer breeze. Whether you struggle with overthinking, anger, or people who drain your energy, by the end of this journey, you'll know how to control your emotions, stay unbothered, and live with emotional independence. Ready to experience real peace of mind? Let's begin. Understanding the trap of emotional reactivity. Most people think their reactions are natural. That's just who I am, they say. But that's not emotional freedom. That's programming. Every time someone cuts you off in traffic and you explode, or your boss sends that snarky email and your chest tightens, you're not choosing. You're being controlled by a lifetime of emotional conditioning. Real self-mastery begins when you realize your emotions aren't facts. They're signals. And those signals don't have to dictate your behavior. Think about it. When you instantly react, who's in charge? You or your emotions? Emotional reactivity steals your inner peace faster than anything else. It leads to overthinking, unnecessary stress, and even guilt afterward. Developing emotional intelligence means catching that spark before it turns into a fire. It's about slowing down, breathing, and asking, is this worth my energy? That small pause is where emotional control is born, and where freedom begins. The funny part? Once you stop reacting, you start seeing how reactive everyone else is. It's like waking up from a dream. Suddenly you notice how people give away their peace so easily, how they let others control their emotions. But you're learning detachment. You're practicing mindfulness and emotional discipline. And little by little, that calm mindset becomes your new normal. And once that shift begins, something powerful happens. The power of emotional awareness, seeing before reacting. You can't control what you don't notice. Most people live on emotional autopilot, reacting before they even realize what triggered them. Emotional awareness is like turning on the lights in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see the patterns, the triggers, the wounds that keep running the show. When you start noticing your thoughts and emotions in real time, you stop being a puppet and start being the puppeteer. That's emotional intelligence in action, pure, conscious living. For example, the next time someone says something that irritates you, instead of snapping back, try naming what you feel. I'm frustrated. I feel disrespected. This small act of labeling creates distance between you and your reaction, a gap where self-control and clarity can exist. That's the foundation of emotional regulation and the first real step toward emotional resilience. The more you practice it, the stronger your inner peace becomes. Here's a truth most people never learn. Awareness doesn't mean overanalyzing. It means observing without judgment. You're not trying to fix the emotion, just to understand it. When you can look at your anger, anxiety, or sadness and simply say, I see you, you disarm it. That's how you build emotional maturity and inner strength. And once you learn to observe your emotions, the next question becomes, what do you do with them? Reprogramming your emotional triggers, training the mind. Here's the secret most people never realize. Triggers are teachers. Every time you feel anger, jealousy, or irritation, life is handing you a mirror. It's not about the person or situation. It's about what's happening inside you. When someone criticizes you and you explode, that's not their fault. It's your ego screaming for validation. Learning to control your emotions means using triggers as lessons for self-awareness and growth. That's where emotional freedom starts to feel real. Think of your mind like a muscle. It's trainable. If you can train your body to lift weights, you can train your emotions to stay calm under pressure. Next time you feel that rush of irritation, instead of reacting, take one deep breath and consciously relax your body. Tell yourself, I choose peace. It sounds simple, but that's emotional discipline in motion. Over time, your nervous system learns a new pattern, one of calm mindset and conscious response instead of impulsive reaction. Here's a fun truth. The people who trigger you most are often your greatest teachers. They expose where you still lack emotional balance and mental toughness. It's like life saying, hey, here's your next lesson in self-mastery. When you start to see it that way, even your worst moments become opportunities for spiritual growth. And that shift leads to the next step, transforming pain into power. Turning pain into power. The alchemy of emotional healing. Emotional healing isn't about avoiding pain, it's about transforming it. Every disappointment, rejection, or heartbreak is raw material for growth. Most people try to numb their feelings, scrolling, eating, or working just to escape discomfort. But pain, when faced consciously, becomes fuel for emotional strength. The moment you sit with your emotions without running from them, you reclaim control. That's emotional resilience, and it's what separates emotional masters from emotional victims. Take heartbreak, for instance. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Try asking, what is this teaching me about myself? Maybe it's showing you where your self-worth depends too much on others. Maybe it's highlighting the need for emotional independence and self-compassion. When you approach pain with curiosity instead of judgment, you turn it into wisdom. That's not just emotional control. That's self-mastery on a spiritual level. Pain has a way of humbling the ego, polishing it until only authenticity remains. Once you've learned to let go of anger and resentment, you find something deeper, peace of mind. It's the kind of peace that doesn't come from life being easy, but from you being strong. And that strength prepares you for the final stage of emotional freedom, mastering detachment while staying deeply connected to life. The art of detachment. Living with emotional freedom. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. Most people confuse love with control, passion with chaos, and caring with worrying. True emotional freedom comes when you can stay present and engaged, but not consumed. You start realizing that you can't control others, only your response to them. That's real emotional maturity, loving deeply, but staying calm, grounded, and unbothered no matter what happens. Think of detachment like holding sand in your hand. Grip it too tightly and it slips away. Hold it gently and it stays. When you learn emotional detachment, you stop being tossed around by every wave of emotion. You gain mental clarity, inner peace, and emotional balance. You can look at chaos and still say, I choose peace. That's what emotional intelligence looks like in real life. Quiet confidence and calm strength. The beautiful irony is that when you let go of trying to control everything, life starts flowing your way. You attract better people, better situations, and more peace of mind. That's the magic of mastering your emotions and walking your self-mastery journey. And when you reach that point, when you can stay centered in storms and calm in conflict, you're not just surviving anymore, you're finally living. So now you know, emotional freedom isn't about suppressing feelings or pretending nothing bothers you. It's about mastering your emotions so deeply that you move through life with calm confidence, mental toughness, and peace of mind. You've learned how to stop reacting, how to stay unbothered, how to turn pain into power, and how to live with emotional balance. But knowing isn't enough. Real transformation begins when you practice. Ask yourself this: how much longer will you let people or situations control your peace? How many more days will you give your energy to anger, stress, and overthinking? The truth is, your freedom starts the moment you decide to choose awareness over reaction, calm over chaos. The self-mastery journey is not about perfection. It's about progress. Every time you pause instead of explode, you win. Every time you choose peace over pride, you evolve. So here's your challenge. Start today. Practice mindfulness. Detach from what drains you, and watch how your life transforms. If this video sparked something inside you, a desire for real emotional control, for spiritual growth, for self-improvement, then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because we're just getting started on this path to emotional strength, conscious living, and total freedom. Your new life begins right now.